Welcome to Good News, Covington County. It's Wednesday, April the 4th here in Andalusia, Opp, Red Level, Sampson, Pleasant Home, Carolina, Gant, and points in between. We're sure glad to have you here with us today. We've got an interesting show. We're going to have our first guest on here. We're going to have Mr. Alan Schofield from the City of Andalusia Police Department. He's their Public Information Officer and their Communications Director to talk about the upcoming Relay for Life fundraiser that they're going to have here in town on this coming Saturday. It's going to be a big deal, folks. I think you'll enjoy it. He's going to talk about it in detail. And one of the great things, the extra thing that you get to take home from this event, is they're going to be there with some other events to support this that will help you be safer in your home and in your life. So pay particular attention to the time that we spend with Alan Schofield later in the show. We're so glad that he's taken the time out of his day to come here and share this, and we want to thank the police department for what they do for us every day here in Andalusia. In local news, and we've got quite a bit of it, I'm going to try to fake my way through it today without a script. There was some information in the local news from the Board of Education, County Board of Education. They've agreed to buy several new buses for the county. They didn't buy any in 2010, and it's caught up with them. They've had to buy extra buses since then as to replace vehicles as they age out within the fleet. And now they're working on a program where they're going to have to buy a number of new buses at the same time. Of course, they're going to be better and safer for the children that we carry, and they'll be probably better and safer for the drivers as well. In addition to that, Superintendent of County Education, Mr. Driver, announced that they had renewed the driver's contract for 3 more years. So everybody will know what they're doing and how much they're being paid, and sometimes they'll know where they're going as they drive for the county. Additionally, in the Andalusia Star News, which is our reference point for almost everything of news value that we put here, Covington County Schools have recognized a number of people from throughout their system, teachers and students, who have done an awful lot in the community to broaden themselves and to broaden and help the community as well. And you're going to see an article in the Andalusia Star News about that, and I would go into it in depth, but truthfully, you need to read it yourself. You're liable to see the names of not only teachers, but students that you know that are from throughout the county that have done good things. Please take the time to buy the Star News or read it online. It's a great source of local information about things like that. We certainly appreciate Michelle Gerlach and Josh Dutton and Lacey Stinson for the quality and the kind of information that they give us every day in the Andalusia Star News. It's certainly it's a small paper, but they work hard to get us daily content, and the information is out there for them to get. In other school news, in addition to the news about the school buses and the outstanding people, on the front page of the Star News is an article about school ratings from Dr. Ed Richardson. Now, Dr. Richardson is a former principal and superintendent of education here in Andalusia. Dr. Richardson has been involved with the state. He's been president of the AEA for the state of Alabama. He served in a number of high positions within the state at Auburn University, as an interim president, a number of other things. So he is what we would call a distinguished educator. And we like to tell good news on this show. So Dr. Richardson developed a program, and I again advise you to go to the Andalusia Star News and read the details, but has developed a program to rate schools not only on the number of students that they graduate, but he has a matrix that helps them decide how well prepared that those schools leave their students when they graduate. He rated 8 of the schools here in Covington County. One with the highest graduation rate was Andalusia High School. But the 2 schools that rated as the most prepared for life after high school were Florella High School and Pleasant Home High School, which is a real feather in their caps for the way that they prepare their young people for life. And that's not to say anything terrible about Andalusia or Red Level or Strawn or any of the other schools here in Covington County, but when it comes to preparing them for the future, Florella and Pleasant Home, according to his statistics, are the best schools to have students in that will prepare them for college and life as a general rule. I know there was an article in the Andalusia paper last week about a young man that I believe is a 9th grader that is already in the Florella school, that's already serving as a district representative for Key Club, the high school division of the Kiwanis Club organization. That's mighty young, but it shows you how well they're grooming those people that want to be something bigger than just themselves in that particular school. Pleasant Home has also had the same thing. Pleasant Home, by the way, is doing pretty well in athletics. There's another article by Josh Dutton in there about how well Pleasant Home has been playing in softball and other sports. Please take the time to look at that as you go through the Andalusia Star News today. We're going to stop now and take a break. We'll try to sell a little advertising and convince you of a few other things, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Brother John. Glad to have you back here on this overcast Wednesday, April the 4th, here on Court Square, coming to you live from inside of our studios. Glad to have you here. As I said earlier in the show, we're going to have an interview with a gentleman from the police department today on their upcoming events for this weekend. We're looking forward to seeing Alan Schofield and doing that, and we hope you'll enjoy that. We've got a few other local items of news that we need to cover, though. Someone noted that down in the Falco area of the southern part of the county, and Michelle Gerlach, I believe, is one that wrote this, that the dive team from the Opp Police Department's been doing some work down there in some of the creeks and ponds trying to find who knows what. But we know that there was an incident down there about the 16th of last month where they had some people that were shot in a scheme to rob some people using a Craigslist advertisement. Long story, we've covered the rest of that story though, so it's kind of interesting. The other thing that I found pretty interesting in the paper, and in fact this is a great article and a tribute to the people in Opp, Alabama. They have at Lake Frank Jackson over there, they have a wonderful organization called the Trail Masters. Those people have worked hard to make that lake down there a real destination for campers and for outdoors people here in South Alabama, and they have done a good job. That place is clean as a whistle. It's well organized. They've got their paths and trails and roads that are clean and well taken care of, well marked. They've got wonderful camping facilities down there. But they've got a local group called the Trail Masters. I think there are about 70 people in that group that work on their own. They fund themselves to help make that park down there a real landmark. Now, earlier this week, the state of Alabama recognized some of these, I'd like to call super volunteer groups that do work in these parks around the state. One of them was at Gunnersville. In fact, that's where the ceremony was, that had done work around Gunnersville Lake. But they also recognized the group of the group down at Opp as the Trail Masters, one of the top 3 groups, volunteer groups in the state that work with the state parks. I think that's a great accolade to the people of Opp and the people that give up their time to do that. And we all ought to applaud them and thank them for the work, because as I said earlier, it's a wonderful facility over there. They have Halloween events over there. They have other events through the year, but they've done such a good job promoting themselves. Nowadays, there are many times when you can't get a place to carry your camper over there. They've done such a good job of making it such an attractive thing. And I'd like to congratulate the people with the Trail Masters in Op on achieving such a fine, such great recognition for doing a fine job in a local situation. We always talk about the weather here. Well, we've had, in the past 24 hours, we've had some of all of it. We've had sunshine, we've had rain. We had pretty good rain last night. How do I know? Well, because the pollen's off of everything that was in my driveway, and the debris from my oak trees and that kind of stuff was blown all over my yard. Had a right nice little rain come through here, and we hope it settles out some stuff and gives these guys the rain that they're going to need around here to get a crop planted. What's our forecast for today? Well, our forecast for today is going to be kind of like this. We're going to have clouds on and off all day, maybe get up into the mid-70s. We'll have 5 to 10 mile an hour, maybe 15 mile an hour breezes out of the south, and about a 50% chance of rain through the rest of the day. Tonight, it's going to get cool. It's going to drop down into the 40s. Get your electric blanket out, or decide to turn on your heat, and be prepared to be comfortable inside. And then tomorrow, it's not going to be quite as warm as it is today, but it will be a nice day out there with about a 50% chance of rain tonight, diminishing chances for rain tomorrow as it begins to warm back up. I can tell you that the weather for tomorrow for the plant sale on the square should be great, and for Saturday and Friday as well. We're going to cut now for a break, and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Brother John and Cousin Jared over there behind the camera. Jared and I tell you, we've gotten to know each other a lot better over the last week, and the more I know about him, the better I think of him, the more I think of him. I'm lucky to be able to work with a young man that's as bright and smart and energetic and wants to do as well in life as he does. I wish him the best. I think we're going to do our best here to grow this station into something Andalusia will be proud of. And along those lines, there's a couple of things I need to do before we get out today. One of them is to give you the buzzard report. Now, I'm serious about the buzzard report because I count them every day. And due to the inclement weather and the windy weather and those kind of things, we were unable to report any buzzard spottings at our familiar places today. However, I did ride by the cemetery early this morning, and they're there in the trees, waiting for a break in the rain, a little bit of sun to dry out their leaves, their wings, and then they'll be off again into the wild blue yonder. The last thing I'd like to talk to you about is us and you. Please take time and go to our Facebook site. There's a couple of things that we'd like to talk to you about there. One of them is Jared's been working real hard to develop a logo for our show that says something about what we believe, that's not just about Andalusia, but it's about Covington County. And we want our logo, although it doesn't speak, we want our logo to speak to you about the wide area that we intend to cover, especially here in Covington County, instead of just being a show for Andalusia. Jared's posted some examples of the artwork that he's built for these websites, not for our website, for our Facebook page. At some point in time, we will have a website that you can go to, but go there and look and give your opinion about what he's developed. I promise you, we're as interested in hearing what you have to say as we are interested in saying what we have to say. What you want and what you do will be what drives our content on this station, as long as it's positive. Now, on to another part of our agenda, and we hope it's your agenda. We would love to have you come on our show if you've got news that you want to share about an event that you're sponsoring or an event that you're part of here in Covington County. You don't have to do anything formal. If you can go to Facebook and just contact Jared or myself, we can make something happen. We can get you up here. We'll interview you just like we did Alan Schofield today. We'll be non-threatening. And since it's done on a tape delay, you don't have to worry about making mistakes. I believe you could come up here and have your teeth come out during an interview, and we'd edit it out and just go on with it like it had been nothing at all. So you can enjoy a relaxed period up here as we talk about those things that are important. The only thing that we ask in our interviews is that you try to be fair, that you don't bash anyone or say anything negative, and that you talk about what you're doing. I don't care if it's a sandwich cook-off. If you're doing it for the good of Covington County, we want to hear about it, and we want you to get some publicity about it. That's why we so frequently mention things like the Relay for Life or the plant sale that's going to be here on the square. Those kind of things are important to all of us in the county and all of you. So remember, contact us at our Facebook page, or if you see Jared or me walking around the street, just talk to us. I had a lady yesterday as I was at a grocery store. I won't mention their name. But she stopped and said, "You're on television, aren't you?" And I said, "I'm afraid so." She says, "Well, I enjoy your show," which just was wonderful for me to hear. And I told her I thanked her for watching the show, and I meant that. But if she has something that she wants on the air, if she feels important, I want her to feel free to come up here. We're usually up here from about 8:30 to 9:30 almost every weekday morning. Come on the air. If you can give us some warning, that's better. We may have to have more than one guest. But as you can see by our format, we're not constricted by a particular time that we have to make things happen in. If you're interested in advertising with us, we sure would appreciate that. Again, contact Jared or myself. Jared's done a wonderful job, and we're trying to build this business back up and our facility. He's done a wonderful job with all that. But at some point in time, we're going to need to quit doing it for charity and start doing it for some money. If you've got anything that you'd like to help us that advertise for, or if you have an idea for a show that you would like to put on every week or something like that, our minds are wide open to the possibilities. So please come and join us at the station and on Facebook and on YouTube, as long as they don't shoot up the YouTube operation we're in. And I guess that was some big news that happened in California, but not here. We appreciate you watching this show. You're our heart and our soul, all of you folks. We hope you'll continue to watch and talk to us. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great day today.